Tips for online dating if you are with disability. Dating when you don't have a disability is hard as it is, and having a disability puts a whole other layer onto it. When do you tell people you are chatting with, and how much should it matter? I was involved in a road accident that caused severe injury to my spine. Most people thought I wouldn't make it to my 20th birthday. If I am being honest, I didn't think I would either. Despite my complicated injury, I didn't spend too much time at the hospital. Just 2 months after the accident, I went back home in my parents' house, getting bathed and clothed by them because I was that dependent. At the time I got hurt, I had a girlfriend whom I had dated for a short while. The reality of my injury put a strain on the relationship and we parted ways. To everyone, she was the superficial girlfriend who had left a disabled boyfriend at his lowest. But the truth was that my toxic nature had led to our downfall. Coming to grips with the reality that I wasn't going to work again made me a bitter, intolerable, and insecure man. She had to leave. I never blamed her. As time went by, my physical and psychological wounds healed, and I started to feel an urge to get back to the dating world. I yearned to experience love and compassion. My journey so far had only involved trips to the hospital and visits from the religious people who wanted to place their hands on my head and pray for my feet to come back to life. I was lonely and I needed a woman's energy and touch. Before the accident, I had never struggled too much with women, but I realized that the man I was then was worlds apart from the man I had become. Since I never really left my room, the only way I was going to meet women was through the internet. This, however, presented a difficult question. Was I ready to show myself to the world? The answer was no. Showing myself in this case refers to acknowledging my disability. I made a conscious decision to portray myself as nothing other than able-bodied, normal. This meant that I either posted pictures that had been taken prior to the accident or passport-sized ones that did not reveal my wheelchair or my weird-looking hands. I also avoided engaging in conversations that would have portrayed me as such. At first, it was exciting and intoxicating to see women taking notice of the old me. It took me back to similar days when all I had to do was smile hard and the deal was sealed. For the first time in a long time, I was confident again. I was pursuing people I liked, and if I got turned down, I took no offense. Even though I was having fun chatting with different women all night, I couldn't shake feeling like I was a fraud. I was lying to them, and even worse, I was lying to myself. I was presenting in a way that was misleading, and the more I did it, the worse I felt. After a soul-searching and self-reflection, I decided to own my identity and show the world that I was a man just like any other. The only difference was, while other men walked, I wheeled. Going public about my disability on social media was a significant time in my life, essentially because I was telling people I have accepted myself. Your turn. To my surprise, I started getting a lot of admirers and people who fancied me. I couldn't understand how and why this was happening. In my mind, revealing that I had severe disability ought to have put me at the very bottom of the dating pool. I would later realize that most of the women inboxing me had their own particular motives. Conversation would get hot and steamy fast. We would talk, text, and video call till odd hours of the day. Naturally, I would start buying into the idea that these women genuinely liked and weren't too bothered about being with a disabled man. Without notice, the relationship would come to an unprecedented halt. They would proceed to live their lives, and I was left behind with emotional baggage, trying to process what had happened. It took me a minute. Well, it took me way longer, but I eventually made sense of what was happening. Some women wanted the thrill of engaging with a man unlike any other they had engaged with. They were curious to know about me, how I think, how I live, and even make love. For them, it was a thirst for adventure, and once the thirst was quenched, they left as fast as they came. I was being used. This still happens till today. A girl will see my story and be moved by it. She will send an inbox and express that she likes me. She'll push the idea of having some kind of relationship with me until I give in. At the beginning, we'll be inseparable. She'll assume the role of savior in the relationship. She'll push me to try new things and attempt to save me from the sad life she believes I live. With time, she will realize that my disability is for life, and that is a long time to have to save me. So, she will move on. Soon, another will reach out and profess her undying love. The cycle will continue. Have you ever lied about yourself or what you look like to someone you are chatting with online?
Love Matters. Open, honest, sex-friendly.